Hi, my name is Michael Beisa, and today I'm going to be talking about the general process of systems level testing. So to get started off, I wanted to go through the four levels of software testing that are generally recognized in the software development community. Your first level, your most basic level, is going to be unit testing, where you're testing individual blocks, individual units of code. So a class here, a class there, and making sure that those classes, those modules, those methods work as you intended them to work. And the second level of testing is going to be integration testing. So you'll take your various classes and see how they interact together. You could be testing to see if a class interacts properly with the data and external database that you're trying to store or retrieve information from, or any other integration terms that you're trying to test. The third level, which we're going to be focusing more on, is systems testing, where you're testing the application as a whole and getting a feel to make sure that the product is working properly. And your last level of testing is going to be acceptance testing, where you sit down with the user and make sure that the application that you've developed meets their standards. So, a little bit deeper into systems level testing. So, as mentioned previously in the process, this is the first time in the testing process where your application as a whole is being tested together. It's generally considered to be black box testing. Your testers are not necessarily going to know the inner workings of the classes and that are being used as part of your program. They're there to sit down and make sure that your program meets those technical, functional, business requirements that have been set forth for the given project. In addition to this, uh, we're going to want to make sure in our systems level testing that we mirror the production environment as closely as possible, so that those who are testing get a real experience, or as real as possible experience of what they would be facing if they were using the application that we developed. So systems level testings has a number of steps that are associated with it, and these are some of the general best practices that are included as far as systems level testing is concerned. So our first step is going to be to create a plan that we will follow throughout our testing. So what is that purpose? What are we trying to test? Uh, and what is the scope of our testing going to be? And of course, we're going to be testing our application, but there's going to be a number of things that we're going to look out for. So we're going to plan what are those major areas that we need to focus on as part of the testing. So as an example for point one that's listed here, we will make sure that the user can log in properly. Very important. That is the purpose, that is the focus of that particular point, and you'll have a list of those points that you'll go through during testing. Your second step is you're going to take that plan, and then you're going to um, create test cases in order to make sure that that plan is actually being fulfilled. So if we're taking the login scenario from before, well, what happens if a user forgets to enter their password in the field? If they enter it incorrectly, what happens if the username has been forgotten, so on and so forth. So you'll go through the different cases that could possibly cause that to fail and see how your application handles that and if that is being handled properly or not. After that, you'll decide on what set of data you're going to be using for your testing so that you can really dive in and meet those requirements and successfully test those cases in order to get proper data. And then you'll actually follow through with that execution. And from that point, you'll be able to gather data and say, oh, okay, this area isn't working quite as we thought, so we need to revisit that, take a look. You'll be finding those bugs throughout the process of testing. And once you've got that list of bugs, Your next task is going to be going back and fixing them and making sure that the fix works. And you'll do another round of testing in order to make sure that no new bugs are found. And you'll reiterate through that process of testing, finding errors, fixing them, until you feel confident that you've successfully finished your application. At which point you reach the sign-off stage and you have a product ready to be taken a look at by the user. So that is a general overview of systems level testing. These are some of the resources that I came across in taking a look at systems level testing. I look forward to diving a little bit more deeply into this topic and seeing how this will affect my work in the future. And I also look forward to hearing any comments, any information that you may have in addition to this. Other than that, it's been great to do this, and I hope you have a wonderful day.